All right, this is a 98 to 2001, I think, is the year range. I could be wrong. Yamaha Grizzly 600. This thing's a pretty cool machine. Now, the dude was asking $1,000, and I was just out there fishing on Marketplace. I hit him at 600 bucks, and I was expecting to say no or not even a reply, and he said yes. So I went and checked it out. He wasn't too far, and basically, I get there. I was hoping it was just going to be a quick, easy, carburetor clean. But I don't know. I put a jump pack on it, and I sprayed some brake cleaner in there. It did kind of try and pop off and start, but it did not sound healthy. So that's when I was like, let's do 500. He was stuck at 600, and I was like, well, I'll give you whatever I have in my pocket. And it was $543 is what I had. So here we are. I have it. This thing's got good tires on it. It's got a, looks like a freshly recovered seat. It does have the OEM Mikuni carburetor on it, and I think this battery does hold a charge. It's just been sitting outside for a month, so probably put that on a charge. Now the plastics are in decent shape. Now you might look at this and say, oh well, what's going on here? Well, you're right. I think we should just be able to bend up this rack and maybe bend this bumper back a little bit, and this plastic situation should go back to normal. But these things are pretty rugged looking, man. I've never had one of these things. It only has 1,200 miles on it. Looks like we got a little bit of slop in the steering stem. Now, I got the key on here. The battery is dead. The lights are not coming on. Maybe we need to... I don't know if they work or not. The rear light works. Notice that. I don't know anything about this thing, so let's go ahead and dive in. Let's get a jump pack on it and see what happens. Let's just take the air filter out here. Let's spray some brake cleaner in the carburetor and see what happens. All right, something happened there. Oh, look. No wonder this freaking air box isn't even... So we don't even know if our go-go juice was even getting in the carburetor there. Alright, now it is. That's direct into the carburetor. Oh yeah, she sounds bad, brother. She does not sound good. That sounds pretty... Where do we check the oil on this thing? Why can I not find the oil fill? I mean, I guess that's the fill, but where's the level on this thing? I don't think you would have to take all these things off to figure out the oil level. Okay, I found the oil level glass. And you can see there is oil in there of some nature. I don't know if it's, it's, I don't know if it's, what's the word? I don't know if it's like thinned out with gas or something. I'm not 100% sure. It does not sound good though. Let's just see what happens if I just give her the go-go juice here. Honestly, it kind of sounds like the starter. It sounds like the starter is hanging up or something. We probably should just go ahead and, check out the daggone carburetor. We know that's going to have to happen anyways. Alright, so here's the carburetor. And, I don't know, where's the clamp screws? Oh, right there. Some Phillips heads, and then should pop off. It'll pop off, and then gotta unhook this hose right here, and then unhook the throttle cable. Shouldn't be that big of a deal. Alright, looks like someone's been in here. You can see this brand new Pilot air fuel mixture screw and new bowl screws right here. So someone must have put a rebuild kit in here. Now there's the Mikuni Carburetor stamp. So let's get this thing off and see what happens. Oh, look, the choke wasn't hooked up. That ain't good. Alright, let's see what this thing's all about. Let's see how bad or good it is. Alright, I've definitely seen worse. There's definitely some crud in the bottom. It's hard to see if this gasket's new. I'd say it probably is new. The needle is stuck right there, the float needle right there. You can see that ain't moving. It's definitely a weird setup. The whole thing comes out, it looks like. I don't know what's going on here. Whoa. Yeah, I'm not sure if you just saw that junk that came out. That O-ring certainly doesn't seal anything going on here. I wonder if this was leaking a bunch of gas into the engine and the oil is all thinned out. I mean, the oil is the right level, but it doesn't have a dipstick on it. Let's see if I can find an O-ring for this. I tell you what, these O-ring kits from Harbor Freight, I don't know. They never have they have every size but what you ever need. But, oh well. I guess the good thing is you can always stretch them out. That looks like it might work. Alright, let's see if this goes in now. Oh yeah. That grease really firmed it up. Or, the O-ring firmed it up. Fresh grease. Slid right in. Now, this is... I wouldn't say this is uncommon. I've seen these before, not in person, but this is an interesting setup, to say the least. Comment down below if you worked on a machine that has this crazy setup. I think Polaris 500s have this. Alright, let's check out the Pilot jet. Hate when they're recessed like this. It's nerve-wracking. You can always you can just round it off in there. Looks like it's definitely plugged. It is a 42.5. I think this is a well, I guess it is a Mikuni. Perfectly cleared out. So next let's check the main jet here. It's perfectly clear. Okay, so last night I tidied everything up, and then I had to run. I had to go to the gym and do this and do that or whatever. But overnight, when I got back home last night late, I decided to fill up the battery with water and put it on charge. So I think this battery charged up. It says 100% on the battery charger. So let's put this cover back on right here. Steve, get over here. Steve. That's right, you better get back here, boy. So, alright. Hopefully we don't need our battery charger anymore. Let's see what happens here. Okay, now, I don't know, this thing was sounding pretty bad. I don't have much hope for this thing, so let's see what happens. Look at that! That crazy noise is the starter. It's like a Bendix drive, probably, like on a Polaris. That's what it kind of sounds like. Is the choke on? Let's see. No, the choke is. That was another thing. This thing was missing the choke mechanism right there, so I had some in the cabinet. So let's see what happens. Seems to run just fine. Look at that. Let's see. High. Let's see if it goes forward. Oh yeah, it's going forward. What about reverse? Oh yeah. This thing's gonna be a runner. I mean, it's obviously running. Let's see if it starts right back up. Yep, sure enough. Now, I think another thing I did, let's see. Ooh, yeah, you can hear the four-wheel drive. Does the light come on? I don't see a light. I wonder if four-wheel drive actually works or not. It does look like someone's gotten in here and was splicing some stuff. Probably from rats chewing it. Okay, what should we do next? I think we should button everything back up, put the air box back in, which is over there. Let's see what else we can do. We need to figure out the gas tank here. Maybe we can get this little brass piece out, even though they broke the bolt off at this point, which is kind of a pain in the ass. Maybe drain the tank, put some fresh gas in it. Hopefully it's petcock. Oh gosh. Well, maybe it might be on right now. Let's see. I don't know. It feels a little loose. But it does look like you can take this apart. So let's see what we can do with this gas tank. Alright, let's see what happens here. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. There it goes. See, that's what we need. And while it's still hot, I'm grabbing the broken off bolt in there, and then this insert is actually a 10 millimeter. So, yeah, see, it's seized on there. So, I guess I'm gonna get some vice grips, and then we'll heat the brass up. Heat up the brass here. You can do anything with the impact here. Boom. It looks like it wasn't even threaded in there that much. It looks like they just had it cross-threaded and went to hell. Alright, I finally got the hole wallered out, correct depth. Now we're going to just use this JB Weld. This is quick JB Weld. It's all the same, really. This just allegedly goes faster. Maybe put a little bit on the thingamajiggy. Alright, let's do this thing. Okay, so that's gonna be, let's see here. Alright, so that's gonna be the fix. Obviously it's not the prettiest. Usually it doesn't give me that much trouble, but I did find out on this. If you don't get it right the first time, you got too much heat, things start warping, things start getting crazy. But that's good enough for this thing. Let's go ahead and throw this tank back on the machine and go take this thing for a test drive. Alright, I think we're ready to take this thing for the maiden voyage. I got it gassed up. Let's see what happens. Oh man, this is a good seat. This thing's nice and soft. And really, it freaking has a nice little groove in there for you to hang out. That starter is crazy sounding. Alright, let's see what happens here. Alright, front brakes work. Come on, don't shut off. Don't do it. doesn't work. Oh, wow. Alright, she shut off there. Let's see what happens. Alright, seems to be running right. I just turned the idle back up. It does seem like a quarter throttle. I mean, it runs, but it seems like it's not running super smooth. Just quarter throttle. Maybe. I don't know. Definitely got some power. I don't see any smoke. Let's see if the rear brakes work. I think we need to go this way. Alright, rear brakes. They need probably some love. Yeah, the front brakes work. Yeah, the front brakes work. Rear brakes, it seems like they're, you know, doing something. Probably need some shoes or something. Yeah, it's smoking black. I don't know if y'all can see it, but it makes me think that the damn choke is not all the way disengaged. I don't know. Got a car coming here. Yeah, the way it's idling makes me feel like that choke is not all the way disengaged. brakes work good. Let's do low, see what's happening here in low. Uh-oh. Oh yeah. Yeah, I don't know what's up with the four-wheel drive. I just locked it in. Now, we don't know if the four-wheel drive is working or not yet. We haven't tested any of that. But I hear it, you know, doing something up there. Let's see. I don't know if y'all are able to see it smoking black. Makes me think it's running rich. I wonder if we can adjust the idle air fuel mixture screw. Got to use the 90-degree angle thingamajiggy. Yeah, this is a screwdriver you got to use to adjust it. Let's see if we can adjust it and make it any better. That ain't good. Now there is a possibility there's still a little bit of water in the tank. Let me see if I can just drain the carburetor bowl a little bit, because the water should go to the bottom. Whoa! Yeah, so it's definitely not liking the air fuel mixture turned all the way, well, mostly in. Alright, so here's what I think is happening. You know, this carburetor didn't have any of this choke mechanism stuff when I got it. This is just extra parts I have from, you know, Chinese carburetors and stuff like that. So that's our choke hole. So here's my theory. It was running good when it was cold. Once it warmed up, it was starting to, you know, act up a little bit. It was smoking black out the pipe, which means it was rich, which would indicate that the choke might still be on. So I think this choke cable, you know, for these random parts that I found out of my cabinet, you know, these aren't exactly cooperating. So what I did here is I measured the depth of this hole right here. Let's do it again. So it's 37 millimeters, right? Let me put you on the tripod. So it's 37 millimeters all the way to the end, right? But when we measure this, we have a gap. Let's see, this is, I don't know, between roughly 33, 34. So if this isn't bottoming out up against that rubber seal right there, the choke is technically still on a little bit. So we can bypass this whole situation, you know, of course, now that it's warmed up, by just taking the cable off. Basically, this cable doesn't have enough adjustment, or I'm not seeing, there is an adjustment collar right here, but it's already maxed out, you know, to the way we want it. So I'm just going to, leave the cable unhooked for now. I'm going to put this in, and that way this spring will allow this to go all the way in and seat up against the carburetor, and we'll be able to find out if that was our problem. Maybe we don't have to get into the valves. I think this could be our issue. I'm not 100% sure though, but we'll see here in just a second. Alright, let's turn the fuel on here. Let's check our camera angle. All right, so hopefully, let's see if it starts up like it's supposed to and run like it's supposed to. What's going on there? Now we don't have the air box hooked up, but I'm not seeing any black smoke anymore. I will say our idle is being a little erratic at the moment. Guess let's hook that back up and kind of just, you know, have nothing that could be a potential problem here. Okay, I think I got the idle portion fixed on this thing. There's no black smoke, idling good. Now, when I rev it up, that's where I'm having an issue now. I wonder if this has anything. Let's see what happens there. I do think it could still be the valves. It's definitely idling a lot better. Now the good thing about this thing is it has the pull start on it, so when we need to turn the engine over, we can just pull it, you know, to get it to top dead center with the valve covers there. So you have a tappet cover right here, and looks like you got two back there. There's the spark plug. Probably should go ahead and throw a spark plug in it too. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the cap off right there and see what's going on with the valves. Okay, I just ran to the store and got me a fresh spark plug. So this thing's cooled down some. Before I left, I did turn this thing to top dead center, and you can't see it in there. Maybe I'll get my light out. But you can see that one tick mark that is lined up with the middle. Now there's two more to the left, and those are not the top dead center. This one right here is top dead center. So anyways, we do have a valve lash here. Can't hear it right now. And we do have a valve lash right here. Well, honestly, we did earlier, but let's see. And the exhaust. The exhaust, or you can hear it. Both of them are good. Now, this one, let's see. This one right here. Well, first of all, what's all this junk on top? I don't know. You can see that one's moving up and down a little bit. This one, before I left, had a pretty decent gap in it, but now it seems like it tightened up again, which seems the opposite of how it should be. So there's a little bit of play. I'm going to adjust that one just a hair. Alright, I adjusted this one just ever so slightly. You can hear that's got a little bit of play. So there's that one. The spec is supposed to be, 4 thousandths, and it slides in on both of them. So I didn't even check the exhaust. It didn't tick or anything. We're basically trying to see if there is no gap, because if there's no gap, then it would be holding it open. So, and that would mean compression and could be going back to the carb and vice versa. So, anywho, let's take our spark plug out, see what we got. Yeah, this one's pretty black. It may have been running rich to begin with, but it probably didn't help that we were riding it around with that choke on. So it is the right plug. Here's our new one for comparison. DPR8EA9. So it was a NGK. I'm gonna throw this one in and let's see if it runs any better. Which at this point it's kind of cooled down, so I guess I'll have to get it hot again. I got the spark plug in, I got the covers back on. I guess I do need to put on this cover right here back on. The timing inspection port. Just tighten that up. Now, the other thing I wanted to note, I'm not sure if I've put this in the video yet or not. So it looks like there's definitely supposed to be like a rubber boot snorkel that goes here, right? Let's see. Looks like there's definitely maybe a spot where it would go up in the middle and have room for it. You can see it kind of probably just pops in here and lines up with these notches. Of course, I don't have that piece. Now, a lot of machines, or some machines, are very finicky to their intake. And of course, they don't make this piece anymore. They make literally still everything else about this airbox except for this piece right here. I did see a part number that the China people make, and it's like one number off. These airboxes are like good for like a Warrior and a different Grizzly, or I don't know, a Warrior and the Wolverine. So it's this airbox setup shares with two other models. Now this little intake here, they make it for the Warrior, which I don't know. What I read is the Warriors have one number different on the part number, but this is the same for a Warrior, the airbox lid. So it makes me wonder if that piece might be a little different, but might work. So I guess the moral of the story is this could be an issue too. Well, we got a fresh plug. Now, we went through the bottom of the carburetor, and I don't want to take the whole entire carburetor off right now, but I didn't take off the constant velocity stack here, or whatever it's called, constant velocity slide. So I was going to pull that off. Just double check it. Alright, got the screws off. Alright, spring is in there. Looks like it's got that little piece there. This all looks legit, how it's supposed to be. Here's our slide. This slide is definitely seeing a lot of wear on the backside. What's up? Oh, that's so cute. You just made that? That's so cute. Look at that. I love that. Alright, I'm doing my video, okay? Love you. Wow, that slide is pretty wore out, man. Look at that. I guess it is plastic, this thing. Look at those grooves. Those grooves are pretty gnarly. I mean, it should still work. I don't see any rips in this boot. A lot of people on the internet, that's like their thing is like, oh, let's check this, and it is something you should check on this CV boot, right? But I've never seen one actually be torn or ripped. So let me know down in the comments if you've ever actually seen one of these go bad. We're about to start this thing up. Now, another thing I was thinking as well is this boot right here looks good, but where it goes into the two ports on the engine, there's O-rings in there, and it is possible those could be leaking, and this could be leaking too, the boot right there. So when we get it running, we'll spray it with some brake cleaner, and it should not affect the way it idles. And if it does, then that, I guess, suggests there's an issue with the O-rings or seal, whatever's going on. What happens here? Uh-oh. Why did it shut off? Actually, we might be out of gas. That could be why. Alright, I've been running it for a handful of minutes. I had to re-up my Go-Go Juice gasoline jug. Seems to be running pretty good now. But I do still want to have the choke cable hooks up because I'm going to try and sell this thing. Today's Wednesday. I want to have it sold this weekend or at least listed. So this is the choke cable. And as you can see here, it has already left the chat right here. Right? So the problem is that we're having is it's too short. That's what she said. So basically, there's already some of this sheathing pulled back. If we just freaking remove that much off this cable liner housing, whatever, and shove this piece back down, I think that would fix our choke cable problem. Alright, so this is very tedious. Alright, so this is a little piece I cut off right there. And basically I just ground one side until it came off. I should just be able to take these dikes and probably cut this. Of course, you have to be very careful not to cut the actual cable itself. Should be able to cut this like this. Yeah, look, it's just freaking falling apart. I do see a little fray in the cable, but you know, I'm sure it'll last plenty long. Slack on this thing. Hopefully it's enough. It wasn't. We were only off like 4 millimeters, I think. So I'm about to check. Let's go ahead and put the piece on and then measure. Alright, so here's the cable after me shortening the end. And previously our target was, I think, 37 millimeters. And we're at 39, maybe even 40 here. Let's see here. Yeah, 39 to 40. So I'm going to go put this in and hopefully it still runs good. Okay, so we went through and figured out the choke. We got all back together, drained some of the gas out. There was a little bit of water. We put a new spark plug in, checked the valves. What else did we do? I think that's about it. Yeah, we checked the valves. So let's go ahead and take this thing for another test drive. Hopefully it's all good to go at this point. And then once we get it all running, you know, hopefully it's running good, we can straighten out the front rack and get the winch working. And maybe these lights for the four-wheel drive. Test the four-wheel drive. man, look at all that traffic. That ain't no good. Look at our little friend right here. Oh, alright, shut off. Why did it shut off? Maybe we should put the idle up just a hair more. Seems a little bit better now. Alright, Mr. Lizard still with us. Alright. Seems he's running damn near perfect. Now I guess we need to test the four-wheel drive. Where's my jack? Oh, it's over here. Mr. Lizard. Alright, we're in four-wheel drive, I think. The light doesn't work, I don't think. The button's pressed in. Let's see. No! Maybe we need to rock it forward a little bit. Wait. You gotta put it in gear. Whoa! Oh yeah. There went Mr. Lizard. Alright, four-wheel drive clearly works. So this has a regular, you know, old-fashioned at this point style light bulb. It's not an LED anymore. So let's just see if we have 12 volts to that connector. Alright, so I think so far my problem with this light bulb is the rust on here. Okay, check it out. Check it out. Alright, so you can see the light is on there. Seems like the problem was the bulb was a little rusty around the edge. And then once, so obviously I turned off, I just locked it back in. But you roll the bike forward a little bit, it locks in. There goes the light, four-wheel drive. We unlock it again, light goes off. The light's working perfectly. Now the other one, the light is not working so perfectly. Okay, it's like 2 days later. I haven't worked on this thing. I went down a severe rabbit hole. I bought a TIG welder, and it's just spiraled out of control. So hopefully, comment down below if you want to see some fabrication videos. I think I'm going to do something with that rolling chassis over there. So anyways, I think we left off. We got the four-wheel drive light working. You got the four-wheel drive, make sure it works. I think we're all ready to rock and roll, except for we need to get the front rack situation figured out, because I don't have these bolts right here. They line up for the tank. Now there is supposed to be a gap. Burp. There's supposed to be a gap like that right there, but right now, if I were to do this, it's all jacked up. So this whole thing is pushed back. Hopefully we can maybe fix this or something here. So anyways, I think what I'm gonna do is just shove a bar in here and try and, you know, pick it up. All right, let's see if we can do this without heat first. It seems like the best way to do it. Come on, baby. Come on. Come on. All right. Am I even in the shot? Oh yeah, I think I am. Damn, this thing is tweaked. I think we are getting close though. Closer than we were. Hopefully the heat does not bother the plastics, I guess. Here we go. Let's see what happens here. I think we're gonna have to take it off actually. What I'm seeing is the bolts are broke off in there for these holes right here. I don't like that. Huh. And it looks like this is actually supposed to be straight. It looks like this whole entire thing freaking got crunched back, which I think we'll be able to fix. We'll do probably some crazy contraptions or something, hooking it up to a tree with a strap or something. Guess the next problem is this these wires right here. Honestly, we need to see if we can get that winch to work too, but see right here, the bolt is broke off, and same thing right there. So, ooh, I guess I'm gonna have to start drilling them out. Looks like it does go into the frame right there. So, let's see. Can we zoom in? Looks like there's plenty of meat on the back. So I guess I just gotta start drilling. Name of the game with these plastics being close to it is to not let it get super hot. So use lots of WD-40. Alright, I got both of them drilled and tapped out. Now the problem is this still wants to go back that way, and that's because this bar right here is crunched in, and I've already crunched it out a little bit, and because it's got that mount right there. So I guess let's just set this rack right here back on top. And let's see if we can get this. I don't know. That kind of looks like how it's supposed to be. Maybe not. It is kind of bent up in the back here. This one doesn't look bent. This one looks straight. So maybe I'll heat this up. All right. Let's see if that does anything. kind of hard with this damn floor being slippery. Now I'm also, I don't know, this whole thing looks all jacked up at this point. I'm also noticing, I don't know, this does look like it's kind of pushed in or something. I don't know. Maybe it just has to do with this not being lined up or something here. Maybe this does need to come back out. Maybe these are both supposed to be straight. Because see this, see this right here, you got a gap right here on the right side, and the left side is not as large, so I don't know. I need to figure out a game plan. Probably put the front bolts back on and then try and get this thing lined back up. All right, got the front 2 bolts bolted in. Now, the problem is this one looks like it's gonna line up, but this one is bent. So I gotta bend that back more straight up and down looking. Now, I don't know how I wanna do that. It's gonna be kind of a pain in my butt. I forgot to do the thumbnail. Oh well. So anyways, I got this bolt in. I got the 2 front bolts in. Hopefully we didn't do too much damage here. We didn't. So now this one's still not lining up, but also what's not lining up is this bracket here. Now I'm thinking we can go like chain this thing up to a tree and pull here. When we pull here, that should push that back a little bit, and that back mount right there should start lining up. And then when we pull this, hopefully this will start getting better. We can still adjust this mount, but hopefully this is supposed to be straight all the way through here. So hopefully we can get this straight. This is supposed to be straight. And then we can work on the bumper. I think the bumper's supposed to be straight too. I don't know what's going on here. I think this piece is bent in, even though, I don't know. I think this piece right here is bent in, even though it seems like most of the collision was on this side. I think this was a different collision over here, bending this some sort of way. So I'll have to get strapped up on that, and I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna start using my strap and hook it up to a tree, heat up the area I think where it needs to be, it needs to bend at, and we're just gonna back this thing up and give it a violent tug. All right, here is the situation. Got my big old strap here, and basically hopefully we just tug on this thing going back a little bit. Hopefully we don't really do anything crazy. Hopefully this works. Really, honestly, I probably need to put this strap up a little higher on the tree. Maybe we need to up the idle a little bit. Get the gas even on. I think so. The full drive on. Looking like right now. Maybe I need to heat this up right here a little bit. Maybe right here, and that'll really make things work better. Yeah, I can see it moving this. Alright, I got a little bit more done. I don't know, this thing's just tweaked. I did get this bolt hole to line up, and then I had to come back over here. We went too far, but I had to bend it back. I don't have a bolt in it yet, but it lines up. So, I don't know, this is pretty straight. And then actually when I did that bolt, this all freaking goes back together real nice. So I don't know what's going on. This whole freaking front rack is tweaked. It looks like the whole thing's tweaked on it from me trying to pull it, even though this thing is I don't know, it's, you know, pushed back, but the whole thing is not bending here, it's bending at the mounts is what I'm kind of figuring out here. But, you know, this thing's gonna be a $1,500 four-wheeler. The front already looks a million times better with this all straightened out. Now let's see if we can get the winch working. Now I did see this little, where did it go? This little red wire right here hanging around. Now this red wire goes there, bing bong boom, and it goes all the way to this solenoid right here. Now from what I can tell, everything is hooked up. I think all we gotta do is get power to this red wire, or this post rather, at least. And then I think that will give us power to the winch, I think. So maybe we can get like a little jumper from here to here or something, and then we'll be able to see if our switch works. Alright, I got this little jumper hooked up. This is to the solenoid. This goes right to the battery. On this, this is the starter solenoid. This is the solenoid for the winch. Now this wire seems to go all the way to the front. You know, the same stud is this hooked up here. And that doesn't seem right. Actually, I guess that would really kind of bypass this whole thing. So maybe let's get the multimeter out. Yeah, the way they have it set up would basically mean that this wire here that goes to the front is hardwired all the time, because this one goes to the battery. But that one goes to the negative side. So, interesting. We also got this wire that goes to the negative side. This looks like the factory, maybe lug right there. Maybe, you know what? I think this one, see, this is marked positive. I think someone put this new battery in and they didn't get this right. So let's put this one on the positive side, and then it probably should work. All right, I was a pain in my butt, but I got swapped over. Let's see what happens now. That's out. Nope, nothing. Well, that ain't no good. I wonder. I mean, this doesn't look that hot either, right? I wonder if our ground is not cooperating. So really, I guess we could test to see if the winch works by hooking up the jump pack real quick. Let's try that. All right, so we have a 50-50 chance of this being hooked up in the orientation of it going out, because we don't need it going in. So I guess fire in the hole here when we, let's see, get this trucker out of my way. All right, fire in the hole. Oh, all right, so it works. It seems like it's not doing anything. Let's see. So it's probably in free spool. Yep, you can see that's engaged. It's flipped that way. There we go. Let's see what happens. Oh, yep, that's going the right way, it looks like. Problem is someone sucked it up too far in there, and this whole damn cable is all bound up. Okay, so we determined that the winch works, but this switch right here, see how 4 of these are correct, and this one got really hot, sunk down in there, and of course it broke off when I tried to take it off. Now they want $125 for a switch. So that switch. Now I can order a switch solenoid setup. It's a little different than that. It's more like a modern setup, and they want $35 on Amazon. And I was at Harbor Freight the other day, and I think I saw an ATV winch on the clearance return for like 40 bucks. So I think I might go grab that. Alright, so this one does not have the switch setup I need, the solenoid switch or whatever. I was hoping I was gonna be able to buy this and use this and then use the cable on here. But I don't think this is gonna work because this one's, you know, on clearance, $41, 42 bucks. There's this one, which does have the solenoid switch somewhere in here. Let's see. I guess they don't show you. They don't show you, but this does have the solenoid. But problem is, this is 100 bucks. So I think we're gonna give up on the winch at the moment. All right, you can see I kind of just put some paper behind there, behind the front bumper here. Let's just see if we can get a little light spray paint job on the front bumper. Give this thing a little quick makeover. I really like this spray paint. It's aluminum metallic Rust-Oleum. Now, I was contemplating pulling the racks off, which, I don't know, I guess I still could and hit them black, but maybe, I don't know, maybe we do the same thing with the paper. I don't know. Alright, so we did the front bumper. Charlotte was having fun. So, we're gonna, well, you see here, we went ahead and kind of masked everything up. Now, I know this is not the right way to do it. What we should do is take it off, sand it, But guess what? We're here to make money. We're not trying to spend a bunch of time. We're trying to make it look a little prettier, right? Okay. So what you can do is just go spray it, and just really lightly, like that. Okay. Ready? There you go. Move faster though. Good job. Let me do it, or you want to do it? Yeah. Here, go right here.
Like this part?
Yeah, just do this part.
Okay.
Start over here, though.
Okay.
Yep, a little bit further away. Oh, you ready? Press it. All right, there you go. Do it again. A little bit. Just do it again. All right, let me
There's a bug on it.
That's okay.
That's a spider.
That's the international rule of spray painting, is there will be a bug in it.
There's a spider.
All right, I cleaned up the front of the rack a little bit. I was just feeling a little froggy. And I wanted to use my new little die grinder. This is freaking Walmart, dude. 60 bucks. This thing's freaking awesome. So, anyways. The back rack came out good. I gotta find the black spray paint now. Oh. Now, I'm sure it's already in the clip on the rear, but, you know, yeah, I already know. We should take the racks off. But guess what? The video was already at like an hour, 1 minute long when I'm editing it right now. I made it to the end, and this is the last little bit, and it's Saturday at probably 6 o'clock, so fight me. And I really, besides wanting to play on my new my little thing, I wanted to see if I cleaned up this front piece, how good it was going to look afterwards. Alright, this thing is running pretty good. Seems to be running better than it was before. I drained all the gas out of it, put some more gas in it. No hesitation, no smoke. I aired up all the tires. They all held air. One, you know, they were just not even. I tried to spray it with some, you know, some new bike in a can, some SC1, but you know the racks are still not 100% dry. I will say when I used my little wire wheel thing on the front here, that really did make a big difference. But this thing cleaned up really good. The rear brakes, they probably could use a little work, but the fronts were good. You know, most people don't even have brakes on their four-wheelers when they sell them on Marketplace. Let's pull this thing inside. I will also say that the lights kind of flicker when I rev it up. I think there's a bad ground somewhere, but you know, it'll be good enough to sell. Here, let's do the infamous, see if it starts right up. Uh-oh, why is it not starting up? It's in neutral. Come on. I think the battery's dead or something. Maybe that's why it was flickering. Maybe this battery... Oh. Look at that. That's why the battery's flickering. Why is that damn thing loose? The negative terminal right here is loose. I just had that freaking... Ugh. No wonder it was flickering. Okay, I figured out what was going on. Remember, we swapped these around. Well, someone put a longer bolt on this side to compensate for the extra lug, but I didn't realize that when I was putting it back together. So we need to go find a shorter bolt, preferably one with a Phillips head on top. I honestly kind of keep these right here. That guy might work. I think that's our best option. Alright, shorter bolt worked, I think. Let's see. Perfect. So that was definitely our problem with the flickering lights. Yeah, they're nice and bright now. No flickering now. Alright, you can see I put the spray on there, and obviously it was looking more like this before. Now it doesn't, you know, make it perfect, but it definitely brings out the color back in it. So I think this thing came out really good. I was not expecting this thing to be a runner. I was really expecting something to be severely wrong with the engine, but turns out it was just the way that starter sounds. I'm not 100% sure. It looks like maybe the starter's in here. I don't know. I didn't really research it, but kind of sounds like it has one of those Bendix drives where it turns and it has a spring and it flings out. Just for fun, let's see if it starts it again. Beautiful. Yeah, this thing is really good. The racks aren't 100% dry yet, and so tomorrow I'll actually hit this thing with the SC1. I still need to do an oil change on it and fix the winch on it, which I think won't be that big of a deal. But, you know, most people don't fix that shit anyways. So, I'll probably just post it up the way it is, and no one will know, and no one's going to bite on it till the parts come in anyways. So, I appreciate you guys watching this video all the way to the end. If you made it all the way to the end, be sure to subscribe, because only 20% of you guys are subscribed. 80% of you guys are just watching. Y'all are freaking out here willy-nilly, just raw dogging YouTube. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I got plenty more projects coming. My shop's a damn disaster. I also want to know, to my 20% that are subscribed, what about y'all want to see some freaking welding videos, some fabrication? I think I want to make a my own muffler, just like make a muffler from scratch. I picked up a pit bike engine, and I'm thinking I want to put that pit bike engine in this frame just for fun. All right, let me know down in the comments what you want to see. This 400EX, I've had it for sale. We fixed this thing up a couple videos ago, or probably 10 videos ago at this point. And you know, it had an aftermarket Burgard front end on it, A-arms and everything, and work shocks, but everything was, you know, it's 25 years old. It's blown out. Shocks are blown. Needs every bushing and ball joint need to be replaced. So I think that's, you know, I've had it for sale for a while, and I think that's turned a lot of people off. So I found someone who wanted to buy them, you know, and restore them. So I'm kind of trying to figure out what kind of front end I want to put on this thing. I was thinking about just swapping these A-arms on, but then that might be the fate of this machine. Then I was looking at the Chinese Alba. I guess Alba doesn't even sell them anymore, but the Max Peating rods. I was looking at those A-arms, you know, just to freaking sell this thing. But those I don't know. There's one dude, he said he rode around his yard and then his freaking A-arm fell apart. So this 400EX, we fixed this up probably a year ago, and it runs, but there's no fourth gear. So I need to get this one out, but we'll be getting some 400EX projects, maybe some fabrication projects. The YRZ 450 is over here. I'm sending the rear shock back out because I think something was wrong with it. I think I wasn't getting a rebound adjustment, but that's a whole nother video. So anyways, be sure to subscribe. I've said that probably way too many times now, and I sound like an idiot, but check this thing out. This thing looks good. What do you think this thing is going to sell for? I guess we're $543 into it. I didn't have to buy any parts, I don't think, for this thing. I already had the fuel line and the fuel filter. I probably do need to order air filter for it. That one's looking a little rough. Oil change in that little switch thing. So we'll just say $100. We'll just say I'm in this thing for $650. Maybe I'll post it for $1650. Maybe we make $1,000. Let me know down in the comments what you think. That's the end. See you guys next week. I'm gonna be welding away, so I guess let me know down in the comments if you don't want to see any welding videos, and then I won't do it. So bye.
Real Jesse Peterson finds in the rough.